Okay, so we're looking at our matrix operations here. And our first one, we are adding matrices together. So this is a 3-row and 2-column matrix added with another matrix that is 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to add up the pieces that are the same. So 3 plus 0 is going to give me 3. So my first spot is 3. And then I've got 6 and a negative 1. 6 plus negative 1 is 5. Okay, same thing. Negative 1 goes with 6. It's going to give me a 5 here. Negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3. Negative 5 plus positive 2 is a positive 3. And negative 1 plus 3 is a positive 2. So this would be my resulting 3-row, 2-column, a 3x2 matrix. Okay, they have to be the same dimension to add or subtract. All right, on number 2, we're subtracting these. So you have a negative 5, a 2, negative 2, 4, negative 2, 0, minus 6, negative 5, negative 6, 1, 3, negative 3. Okay, what I like to do is this negative, this is like having a negative 1 out in front of everything. Okay, and what I like to do is just distribute that negative all the way into each thing. So this negative is going to become negative 6, positive 5, positive 6, negative 1, negative 3, positive 3. And then I'm going to change this to be a plus. Okay, so I'm just changing the sign of everything. Just going through, changing the sign of everything in here like that. All right, because a negative multiplying by a negative 1 is just going to change the sign of all your pieces. And now we do it the same exact way. So negative 5 plus negative 6 is negative 11. 2 plus 5 is 7. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. Then on the bottom row, 4 plus negative 1 is 3. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. And then 0 plus 3 is just 3. So this one would give you a 2-row, 3-column, or a 2x3 matrix right here. Okay, let's look at number 3. So when we have a number outside, so this negative 5 is outside the matrix, 5, 6, negative 4, 4, negative 2, negative 1. All we do is multiply this to every piece. Okay, so this 5 gets distributed into everything. So that's going to be negative 25, negative 30, positive 20, negative 20, positive 10, and positive 5. Okay, so again, 2x3 matrix there. Same thing on number 4. All right, we're distributing that negative 5 in. So we should get a 15, 0, 0, negative 25 for that one on number 4. Okay, our second number 3 that we had, this is multiplying matrices together. Negative 5, negative 5, negative 1, 2. Okay, times, we've got negative 2, negative 3, 3, and 5. Okay, so when we do this, you do row, your rule is row by column. And this is a 2x2 matrix multiplied by another 2x2 matrix. The middles have to match 2 and 2, and the resulting matrix is going to be a 2x2. The numbers on the end. Okay, so how does this work? Well, my first row here, negative 5 and negative 5 by the first column, negative 2 and positive 3. So I'm going to write all this out, okay, for us. We've got negative 5 times negative 2 plus negative 5 times 3. Okay, so that is in the row 1, column 1 for our spot. Then we're going to take everything in row 1, and we're going to multiply it by column 2. Okay, that's going to give us this part right here. All right, so the yellow part gives us that. So we got negative 5 times negative 3 plus negative 5 times positive 5. Okay, now we're going to move to the bottom. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're just going to do it in the bottom. So negative 1 times negative 2 plus 2 times 3 gives me that row 2, column 1 spot. And then lastly, we got the second row by the second column. So we got negative 1 times negative 3 plus 2 times 5. Okay. Add those up. That's going to give you our resulting 2 by 2 matrix. So what is that? 10 minus 15 is going to give you a negative 5 up here. This is 15 plus negative 25. So that's a negative 10. Okay, this is 2 plus 6, so that's going to be 8 in that spot. This is a positive 3 plus 10, so that's a positive 13 there. So again, row by column, make sure the middles match. If they do, then the end is going to be your resulting matrix. Okay, so you would do that number 4 the exact same way, all right, as we did number 3. All right, let's look at 5. Okay, so if we look at number 5, this one is 0, 5, negative 3, 1, negative 5, 1. And we have negative 4, negative 2, 4, negative 4. Okay, I'm multiplying these. I'm not adding these. Okay, if I were adding these, you could not add this because the dimensions are not the same. This is a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 2. Okay, but we can multiply this because the middles match. 2 and 2, the middle is going to match. So we are able to multiply these, and our resulting matrix is going to be a 3 by 2. Okay, so let's look at how that process is going to work for us. All right, so I've got to do everything in row 1 by everything in column 1. Okay, that's going to give me my first spot here. All right, 3 row, 2 columns. So this is going to have 3 rows and 2 columns. So this is going to be 0 times negative 4 plus 5 times negative 2. Okay, then I'm going to take everything in row 1 times column 2. All right, so I've got 0 times 4 plus 5 times negative 4. Okay, now I'm going to work on row 2. All right, so I'm going to do everything in row 2 by everything in column 1. So I've got negative 3 times negative 4 plus 1 times negative 2. Then I'm going to do everything in row 2 by everything in column 2. So I've got negative 3 times 4 plus 1 times negative 4. Okay? And then lastly, we got to move to our row 3 by column 1. So that's going to give me negative 5 by negative 4 plus 1 times negative 2. And then negative 5 times positive 4 plus 1 times negative 4. Okay, so what are the things I notice? Well, I notice these don't ever change, do they? Right, because that's the column. Same thing here. This is the column right there. All right, all of those pieces match. It's the row by the column. So where it is in the row by where it is in the column in the second matrix. So we're just doing our simplification here. 0 times negative 4 is 0 plus negative 10. So that first spot is a negative 10. Okay. 0 times that's that. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Okay, so that's my second spot. Moving here, 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Minus 2, that's going to give you a positive 10. All right, this is a negative 12 and a negative 4, so that's a negative 16 here. When you add those together, all right, we get positive 20 minus 2, that's 18. And negative 20 minus 4 is negative 24. So there we have all of our multiplication row by column. Our resulting matrix is a 3-row by 2-column, which is what we said up here.